Thanks. It's on Wikipedia, not at Wikipedia, but that's okay. That's okay. Is it loud enough if I talk right here? Okay. Didn't the stage used to be bigger for the other readings? Where are we? Where are we gonna sit afterwards? Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. So, thanks. My friend Elizabeth is gonna help me with the first poem because it's in two voices. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. So, this poem is called "You'll Never Know What Your Face Looks Like from Space."
Which life?
Which life?
Pop culture, you obsessed.
I am empty, full of bones.
Be more substantial. Be reverent of anything.
Tequila-tongued mongoose.
Killing a snake is cliché.
Je parle très bien les clichés.
A proper guide to foreign language by Redacted.
Fuck your modernist buildings. I want a blender full of ice.
Icy distance.
Snob.
MA, MFA, PhD.
PHAT.
Your texting language will soon be obsolete.
Your tongue is a meat rock.
You will never be published.
You will never know what your face looks like from space.
What about the Salem witch trials?
Winona Ryder in a corset, you make nothing but plant sounds.
I wish you the best of luck.
Your puns have no power unless accompanied by cheese cubes and wine.
An armchair is a luxury.
A chair arm is a scratching post.
Emery board.
A mooring of chalkboard nails. Thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, so I'm going to read one poem from this chapbook that was published last year by Dancing Girl Press called All These Empty Bone Bowls. And I have a few copies to sell for $5 to $7, depending on how much money you want to give me. And all the poems in this chapbook are they're related to a performance art piece that I wrote the script for. Now I'm getting nervous without you up here, Elizabeth. So anyways, they're from a performance art piece that I wrote the script for. And this one is basically just a description of the entire performance. Retrospective. More like wings, more like a bird. The mask moves from face to face, an aviary masquerade. The masquerade is a popular medium of deceit. We are crouched on the edge of something I don't know, the dark blood of beaks, overused ravens. Trickster, narrate, fly into blue stage light. Eyes carved and painted so freshly, we start to get high on cello, his screaming strings and shaking body a thing that makes some avert their eyes. Bad page break. Barefoot, their souls become black with what we have tracked in. In the blackout, the line differentiating traveler and tour guide is clear. It is lined on the insides of our eyelids with glow-in-the-dark tape. That scene in The Little Mermaid where Ursula, the sea witch, to say sea feels redundant, puts a curse on Ariel and turns her into wrinkly seaweed. The tilt of the camera makes us all a bit seasick. Editor, cut it, fix it, stop the motion, start. Seaweed, bicycle legs, bring us to standing. This generation has the blues, passed on like a squeeze in a circle of hands. Stage lights, even when they are blue, pop and hum and burn. Blue sweat leaks out of pores, drips into water the color of blue raspberry. Why so blue? Made from the crushed blue exoskeletons of exotic insects popped into mouths like blue M&Ms, my generation's contribution to the candy world. Puff of sulfur breath, steaming nostrils from a dragon-shaped humidifier on the sick table. Should I make a joke here? Yakov Smirnov said he would retire in 2013. I had will retire, and I had to change it. In Soviet Russia, job retire you. The only thing red in Branson is the first sunburn of bodies bloated on deep-fried fish, animatronic entertainment, water skiing squirrels, and endless two-lane roads, lights that chase each other around a square, provocative darkroom. It catches our eyes like a glint like fish in the river, a flashbulb popped and sizzling. Flava Flav's grill when he grins at the sun. Scrooge McDuck diving into his vault and coming up with a concussion. His nephews never call an ambulance. Blue, a return to the river. It is okay to return to the fetal position now. Hug your knees to your chest, breathe normally, and carry this blue with you throughout the day. We have carried it through the theater into the hallway like a rock from a hot spring. One by one, we return the rocks to their cairn. They hold together with the necessary weight. That's from that. You don't have to clap. It's fine. Okay. So I hope I have time to do all these. Well, the next two poems are from a project that I started at the University of Minnesota about the intergenerational effects of war, and they both contain erasure, which is a form of poetry where you take a text and you erase in quotation marks some of it, or black out some parts to create a new text. So this piece begins with an erasure of two interviews that I did, one with my dad, one with my grandfather, who are both veterans of different wars. And then it's just followed by a short poem. It's called Inlander Feels. In a land I don't remember, I hear a battlefield for every body. So that was the erasure part. In Flanders fields, the poppies blow. The sky is full of ignorant and beautiful larks. Who can hear them over this gun box? We are The Walking Dead Season 4. Some days ago, we celebrated over an abandoned wagon full of spare parts. Your responsibility to the dead is still unclear. That was that one. Okay. So the next poem is also an erasure, and it's an erasure of a Congress subcommittee hearing on yellow rain from 1982. If you're unfamiliar with yellow rain, it was something that happened around 1975 in Laos and Vietnam, where villagers reported chemical warfare attacks and they described the substance that fell as yellow rain. And the story it's not a story, but it's much more complex than I can explain right now. But I guess that's what you need to know for now. The subcommittee will hear testimony of bubonic guinea pigs, international bodies, haphazard extermination. The cloud would descend upon a village or upon people. The cloud seemed to be made up of small particles, blood-tinged rain. I would compare it to offering somebody a cigarette such as the one I am now smoking, or giving them the finger of suspicion. The leaf samples were indeed leaf samples. The water samples were indeed water samples. First village, pain. Second village, pain. Third village, children. Fourth village, children. These casualties and deaths of babies and whatnot. I see the yellow light, Mr. Chairman. Does that mean I must stop? May I have a few minutes to get the slide machine organized? A yellow water flowed from their bodies of evidence. The slide machine does not appear to be working. Scales fall from a blue-black cloud, and yet the public yawns. The blue-black cloud is filled with flame. A slide presentation was shown about bleeding. I have seen skeletons carrying skeletons, whereupon at 4:30, the subcommittee adjourned. Hey, microphone. It's very sensitive. All right. I don't know if that was too fast or too slow, but this is the last one. So get ready. And it's very boringly called Listening Poem. Start with the bone. Free-falling fuck genre. See yourself as the hero, naked with the cape. Transform your character. Be Optimus Prime. Womanhold, pigeonholed. Woodpecker does the work of this one. As a poet, peoples is peoples. We are beating a dead metaphor on the last rock in the stream we made the horse cross. Are you drowning? Are you a leapfrog? Are you an arcade game from the 80s? What is your genre? My genre is... My genre is... My genre is... My genre is Red Rover, send poet right over and tell me which day of the week is on her underwear. Gordon Lish wears a jumpsuit. Ozzy Osbourne has worn track pants for the last 20 years. For many years, I have also rallied against zippers. All dressed up and no place to go. Let's talk about vaginal discharge. It is a real thing. Poor page break. Minnesota is a real thing. Repression is a real thing. Pubic hair is real. This plot has real internal and external organs, and if it's worth its salt, it's having hot horse sex. I want to see how flies see. I want to vomit on this food. I want to chew some rainbow cud like a fucking unicorn. Oh, mural, you inferior form. Oh, mosaic, you broken floor. You are so post-Madonna. What is the nature of your difficulty? In Washington, a 7-year-old told me what rose hips were. The erotic word was bitter and mealy in my mouth. At some point, I started saying, kill the babies, instead of kill your darlings. It must be my biological clock. I can't even look at a bird without thinking about poetry. Have you ever seen anyone with arms akimbo who wasn't falling from a great height? Have you ever seen a beautiful bird that didn't live a hard life in the streets? Don't answer that. I'd like to remain belligerent. Thank you.